If you're anything like me, you start to get really tired from all of the self-help advice online about the very basics of life, the advice that we all know, but we never take it. Whether it's dating, whether it's habits, whatever it might be, we keep searching for, well, what's the real secret? Much like health, 90% eat well, 10% exercise. That's the secret, but no one wants to do that. Everyone wants some sort of magic bullet, some Hail Mary special formula, special answer to everything. I don't know if it's because people want to feel special themselves so they can brag to others and say, you know, you thought going to the gym and eating healthy was the thing. No, it's this. Similarly, with all the dating advice out there, it gets tiring because you can't lie to yourself after a while where you've heard it so many times that hearing it again where the person reconstructs the sentences and uses different words and lexically makes the sentences different, and they give it this color and flourish that reinforces what we already know, yet again, we just don't take the advice. And at some point, you have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I know all this is true, and I'm the one that's not taking the advice, but also more importantly, you keep searching for different people. I found someone else on YouTube. Oh, look at this person. I like their charisma, their personality or whatever. And they're saying stuff I already know, or they're elucidating it in a way that's entertaining and clear, and I like listening to them, fair enough. But even if it gives us insight, why doesn't it feel part of our world where we can actually do it? You hear someone saying something that's true, but it just doesn't register, doesn't make you want to change anything. A question to ask yourself is, how does this advice, how does all of the advice that you keep hearing and you keep recycling it to no avail, and you keep dating the same way, you keep failing at your habits, you keep staying up too late, you never get up early, you don't change the job that you wish you did, you never take the first step in the direction towards something in your life that you always wanted to do, you're always letting yourself down. Whenever you take this advice, I feel like it's almost a distraction where you need to stop yourself and ask, how much of this advice really relates to me? Because what we can do a lot of the times, and I certainly have fallen into this trap, is that you entertain yourself with different perspectives from different people from around the world. They've been brought up differently, different countries, different religions, customs, and what have you. And they've had different successes and failures and things like that. And they give you these little perspectives and insights that you think, oh, that might be the answer. But you really know their life's nothing like yours. You listen to someone, for example, from New York, and they're telling you how they grew up on the streets and what they had to deal with and what their mother was like, and they had an absent father, and what really clicked for them, what really changed their life was something, right? And while you may appreciate it when you look at the tapestry of their life and you look at the map of their life, it makes you nod for them, but it doesn't make you nod for your life. It doesn't really recalibrate your life to a direction that makes it feel like you've just discovered the religion and you can move forward with some sort of refreshed clarity where you're almost reborn. No, it's just an interesting insight. So how much does what you're listening to, even this, how much does it relate to you in your life? Really? And I think that's why we never enthusiastically grab hold of the advice. It's forever these beautiful packets of information that resemble like a suitcase full of answers, but no handles on the suitcase by which we can grab them, figuratively speaking, you know? Just all these handleless suitcases presented in every video, and we just can't hold them. Not comfortably anyway. And a lot of times we feel like a fraud because we're acting our way through the advice that we're trying to take. But something in us feels like it's not us. First and foremost, I would suggest is you really need to have a better relationship with yourself in terms of understanding, knowing who you are, the very individual, peculiar, odd you. Not odd in the sense that you're dysfunctional, but just individually, this is who you are. This is what I like. This is my lifestyle. This is my upbringing. These are my friends. This is the picture of my life that makes sense. And then you look at people online and the advice you take is according to that. You look at people who are speaking to you that are familiar, that are compatible in their life experience and the words they say. You recognize when they're saying things that clicks to you because I've lived like that. That's how I see things too. Not make money, move to Dubai, go to Thailand, marry some chick you can't understand. Like, they're all evasions. They're all escapes. The real information, the stuff that does relate to you, the things that can fix and help you in your life, are the ones that only will help you when you have a better relationship with yourself in terms of seeing yourself clearly, a more self-reflective view of who you are. And then the advice you take will be better because you won't feel comfortable with other people, whether it's in a friendly setting or a more confronted dating setting when you're sitting across the table from some girl you really like. You won't know what's good for you until you're on your own side, where you see yourself clearly, where you know the information you're hearing, if it relates to you. If she says something that you don't like, doesn't sit well with you, doesn't gel, doesn't fit with you, isn't compatible with you, when you're on your own side, when you know the loop, the feedback loop that works with you, and the ones that don't, you know why they feel wrong. You can elucidate and see clearly why it doesn't fit, why they see things differently to you, and why it doesn't fit into your life, why their advice doesn't apply to you. Not exactly, even a little bit if it does, but not exactly, not enough to change in the way that they're suggesting. Similarly, when you meet a girl that you really like, you want it to work, and you can see clear as day in relation to you that she's so different that you are always going to be compromising with her and maybe her with you just to stay together. You need to be on your own side so we don't just take what we can get, where we don't trust our feelings enough with the advice or the company of another person to know whether a person or information is good for you, that you can bring it in and it can feel comfortable to you, it can work for you. To investigate, why don't I feel good around them? Why am I nervous? Why am I apologizing? Why am I always doing wrong? Why do they never get my jokes? Why does it feel like they don't respect me? Why does this information feel like, or this advice feel like it doesn't apply to me directly? And they're telling me I need to apply this information exactly as they say. I can't modify it. Can I modify this information a little bit so it works for me? Can I talk to this other person and compromise a little bit so we can continue to have a relationship? Most of the time, no. You need to be on your side enough that you know who you are. I hope that helped.